Yes. Good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome to Insider Crypto News family. As we look back 3 months before, we see ourselves as a small community with around 50 to 100 people only. But now we reached 1,000 plus members in quick short term. I hope we're doing something good for our Tamil community and Indian community. Thanks for your big love and support. I have no words to describe your love and support, and thank you, family. I feel extremely honored to introduce our guest, Pranjal Bharadwaj. We are very grateful accepting our invite and marking his presence here. We are really thankful to him for taking the time out of his busy schedule to attend the AME. Welcome, Pranjal Bharadwaj, to our community. Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you. Just let me know if I'm audible, if you can hear me perfectly fine.
Yeah, audible. Yes.
Great. Yeah. Thanks for having me. I mean, it's great to share some knowledge and meet with the folks who are interested in blockchain and especially Algorand. So yeah, happy about that.
Yeah, Mr. Pranjal. So thanks for your presence, and we are eagerly waiting to learn something about ALGORAND in this AME.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Shall I go to questions? Before going to technical questions, I want to ask some general questions. So yes, Mr. Pranjal.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how you
Please.
yeah yeah how you seeing Indian traders developing and learning in crypto platform? How it will be in after 10 years?
The Indian which community?
Indian community overall our
Yeah, overall, I think as we know, as the numbers speak, the Indian community has been the biggest in crypto and blockchain. And as we know, traditionally, we've got like a huge, number of software developers who have been really good in traditional Web 2. And I think that just opens up a door for us to expand into Web 3 and have more and more developers, investors, and speculators to take part in Web3, be it DeFi or be it through gaming. There are multiple avenues, but yeah, slowly we'll see more and more adoption happening for sure.
yes, Mr. Pranjal. So our youngsters are very pride. We are very proud to our youngsters and gaining knowledge in crypto and developing. So
Yeah.
shall I go to the questions? Yeah. Can you share about the Bharat Algo? Its motto on a roadmap.
Yeah, so Algo Bharat is a community initiative which was started a few months back to engage, especially the Indian developer community, because Algorand traditionally has been more focused um, towards Europe, or we can say USA. We wanted to focus more on Asia, and especially for India. So Algo Bharat was started as an initiative to do that, to bring more people together, so that we have a bigger community of folks who are interested in building on Algorand, and as a result of which we have seen some really good adoption. Many people who are interested in building enterprise level solutions on Algorand have built products which are close to launching on mainnet, and I think that is extremely powerful. Now, Angkor Bharat has recently been incorporated within the foundation, so it's a great win for us, because now we have a dedicated Indian team who's only thinking about how we can grow the community in India. Now we have one of our biggest upcoming events happening in March, which is going to be the Hack Shack, which is like the hackathon series that we have. So Hack Shack India will be happening in March, from March 24th to March 26th. So all the builders out there who are interested in building different, dApps, who are interested in solving different problem statements on Algorand, you guys are more than welcome to kind of apply for that. And we come there, meet the whole team in person, whoever is joining, and get the sense of community over there. But we also have something else for more business centric people. We have something called as a business pitch competition. So if you have built a solution on an enterprise scale on Algorand, you can also kind of apply for the pitch competition. And I think we'll have top 20 or 25 pitches to come in person and pitch on stage, so that we can select which ones are the best, and then we'll have we'll have like we'll be looking into giving some sort of seed funding to those projects. So we want to give that initial boost to the projects who are planning to launch and planning to continue building on Algorand. So that is like a short-term roadmap. But yeah, of course, long-term roadmap would be uh, to increase the user adoption within India, and we'll have like a whole dedicated team in that. Where I kind of come into picture is, so I handle developer relations for Asia, not just India. It's beyond India, but I'll always be helping out with the developer resources. If there's any sort of workshops in person, speaking requirements, if there's anything like that, so I'll be involved in all of those. So yeah, that's about Alko Bharat, and where we are headed.
Yeah, yes, Mr. Sandal. So we are wish to Bharat Algo will be a huge success in India.
Yeah,
Yeah, yes. The next second question will be going to ask by Ms. Muruga.
sure.
Yes. Hi, sir. It's pleasure talking with you because you just came to our Tamil community and just talking. Really thankful to you. Here comes the next question. What's are the main layer one characteristics of the Algorand and how a pure proof of stake protocol works?
Hmm. Yeah, so let us first understand the layer one characteristics and what makes Algorand very unique. Um, just to kind of give you like a small pitch of what makes Algorand different from other blockchains, I would say that we have cracked the code of blockchain trilemma with the help of pure proof of stake, which is a unique consensus algorithm that we have, which Sylvia McCallum is the founder. He has devised it. So with the help of proof of stake, we get scalability, we get we get low transaction speed, we get low transaction fees, we get high throughput. So basically, we can do transactions as fast as 3.7 seconds, which is the 3.7 seconds block time. That means within 3.7 seconds, you will know if the transaction has gone through or not. You don't have to wait around for the transactions to confirm. We have also shown that Algorand is highly scalable because the key metric that we kind of use in that scenario is transactions per second, and how much the network is kind of capable to process number of transactions at a particular time, and that has come up to about 6,000 transactions per second. But I would say, very recently we have seen those numbers break as well. I think we have seen as high as 14,000 or 14.5 thousand transactions per second, which is absolutely insane because that gives us a lot of room to scale. Um, and comparing all of these things to traditional blockchains like Ethereum, it's not that scalable. Like they want to be as scalable as they want to be at a scale of like 45,000 TPS or 40,000 TPS with the new merge in the coming years. But of course, Algorand is already headed in that direction, and we have already made significant progress in that way. Number third, I would say, is the reliability and the stability of the main blockchain, because Algorand has never gone down. There has been zero downtime, and there has been no security threats, no kind of hacks happened since the beginning of Algorand blockchain. So these three main things make it very friendly for enterprises and for real world use. So that is kind of like what enable that these three things are enabled by pure proof of stake. Now coming to the like the main layer one characteristics that we have, so I would say we have like main five characteristics. Firstly, we have Algorand standard assets. uh, Algorand standard assets, we also call them ASAs, are native assets for both fungible and non-fungible tokens. Now, if you guys, write code, you might know that on other platforms, if you are making an NFT, it's usually implemented as a standardized smart contract. You have to write smart contract to execute it. But on Algorand, it's a layer one feature, so it's like a token. So you can create the token, and then you can transact between two wallets, and you can expect the same level of security while doing the normal token transfers with the NFTs, or different kinds of fungible, non fungible, restricted fungible, and any type of tokens. any type of assets. Number two would be atomic transactions. So Algorand actually provides you an option to securely simulate bunch of transactions together. So you can combine, you can kind of group as much as 16 transactions together. And when we talk about inner transactions, it can be up to 256 transactions. So you can kind of group all these transactions together, and you can make all of this happen together. And with the help of this, you can transfer a number of assets to a number of parties, a number of different wallets at the same time. So it is again a very powerful tool that we have. Number third would be rekeying. So as we know, we mainly have two type of keys: public keys and private keys. Uh, we have the public key is usually what we share with other people if they want to send us funds, and private key is something which is like a seed phrase that we keep it to ourselves. Now, if someone wants to change their private key, they will have to, of course, also change their public key. But we have made it possible that you can change the um existing private key without changing the public key. So without changing the public address, you can get a new private address. So that is also possible. Fourthly, we have smart contracts, which are not the usual smart contracts that we see on Ethereum. These are different ones. So we have mainly two kind of smart contracts. We have stateless and stateful smart contracts. Stateless smart contracts are used to approve spending or asset transfer transactions, and they often govern all the transactions from a specific account. And stateful smart contracts implements the application logics, and they kind of store, update, and make changes in the on-chain values. So we have these two different type of smart contracts happening here. Now, I think we'll be going more in detail about this later in the session. What is different about AVM and how smart contracts are different on Algorand, but these are not executed on EVMs. Algorand is not EVM compatible. We have AVM, which is Algorand Virtual Machine. These smart contracts are compiled in a different way, and that makes it unique. Lastly, something which is very new is state proofs. So state proofs actually allows Algorand to export the state of the chain to other blockchains. So when we talk about multi-chain interoperability, when we have when we're using bridges, and when we're bridging different assets and bringing them from one chain to another, then this is a very extremely powerful tool that we have implemented on layer one. Also, a very interesting feature that we have along with state proofs is that it offers the post quantum security to Algorand, which I think all the other blockchains are kind of ignoring at the moment. But yeah, we are already ahead in that kind of game. I think your second question was regarding pure proof of stake. So pure proof of stake can be super technical for some of the new folks, but just to explain it, in a very simple language, you can understand that traditionally we have had like proof of work and proof of stake, which were being used for different blockchains. Proof of work was a model which was used in in Bitcoin. It was also used in Ethereum up till recently. Now Ethereum has shifted to proof of stake. Proof of work is not good for us because, of course, the energy consumption goes up in proof of work. Computers are kind of fighting with each other to validate a block, to validate a transaction. But in proof of stake, basically, validators are kind of chosen at random, and it depends. The probability of them getting chosen depends on what their stake is in the particular pool. So if someone is holding more funds, they will have more chances of getting selected. But Sylvia McCallie came up with a very unique way of dealing with this. It's called pure proof of stake, or PPOS. So it works by randomly selecting committee members from the participants. So anyone who is like an algo holder who has one algo, two algo in their accounts, they can participate in this process. And these different committees then validate the block, and they approve the block, and it gets added into the blockchain. And this random selection of committees is done by something called as VRF, which is again a novelty which was produced by Sylvia McCallie, which is absolutely genius because to do something of the sort on scale and for it to work seamlessly, it's absolutely brilliant. So so with the help of VRFs, we are able to select a new committee when we talk about a new block, and this process goes on forever. So yeah, I hope you guys got a gist of it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And here comes one more question. How do your layer system is working in Algorand, sir? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, hearing you. So wait, wait. Hi, Mr. Pranjal. I think he have some network issue.
Can you hear me?
Ah,
No.
Yeah, yeah.
sir, let me ask you another question. How do your layer system is working in Algorand?
Yeah, coming to that, you are able to hear me fine, right?
Yeah, yeah. We are able to hear you
Yes.
fine.
Okay, okay, yeah. So I think by dual layer system, you mean like the dual architecture that we have for executing smart contracts. So mainly we have like a two-tier architecture, which is we have the on-chain layer one, and then we have a layer two, which is kind of like off-chain contracts. The main difference is layer one comes with all the things that I've currently described. We have all the main five characteristics of the layer one. We have all the good things. We have all the security. We have all the speeds and stability of the Algorand blockchain. Where the layer two kind of comes into places where we can execute these contracts off chain, and it's usually done when we have complex smart contracts. So sometimes there can be many different scenarios. So sometimes the contract can be too big for us to execute it on chain, and it might cause some problems. So in that case, we have we can execute it off the chain, and in some cases we might have some computational demanding tasks. Let's say we have some sort of enhanced security measure that we want to follow with this. It can be in the cases of zk rollups, we might have some integrations with zk stocks or zk snarks. So in that case we might have those complex smart contracts to execute as an off-chain contract. And sometimes the contract can be just too complex. It can be either big or complex, or it can have computationally demanding tasks. So these are the three main cases where we have the off-chain smart contracts working. And it kind of divides the Algorand's smart contract architecture into two pieces, which is on-chain and off-chain.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Pranjal.
Yeah.
So next question will be going to ask by Miss Logan.
Hi, sir. Thank you
Hi.
for being here. Sir, I would like to ask you about the liquidity issues in DeFi. Could you tell us when you people, that Algorand developers, going to solve this issue?
Yeah, sure. Liquidity has always been kind of an interesting topic on all the different blockchains, because projects are always seeking liquidity, and there always has been like a risk for LPs and folks who are providing the liquidity on the other hand. So traditionally, we have seen liquidity mining, which is a process in which like crypto holders will lend the assets to a DEX in returns of some rewards. And as we know, the rewards kind of they kind of diminish over the period of time. The rewards, or we can also call it the APR, so that people understand it better. It usually drops by block by block, and it gets diluted over time as more people kind of enter the farm. So what we have seen is traditionally like I think there was an Nansen report about this. Around 40% of the yield farmers who enter the farm, when the farm is launched, they kind of exit within the next 24 hours because the rewards are high. And subsequently, I think majority of the LPs exit within the next by next 48 or 72 hours. So this is kind of very concerning when it comes to looking at DeFi at scale, and it's a big problem to solve. So I don't have much specifics about this, but Cometa is trying to solve this problem with liquidity as a service, and they have their liquidity hub on Algorand, which they have pitched very recently as well. And I've also seen their updates at Decipher. It was really good. So Cometa is providing liquidity as a service along with different features like auto compounding, Zap, a bunch of different things. But main things that they're offering is liquidity as a service. Now, as I said, traditionally we have looked at things through liquidity mining, but they kind of move on. They want to kind of move away from this process, so that there is the projects who are seeking the liquidity, they are at the risk of impermanent loss rather than the folks who are taking part in the DeFi. So liquidity, so the projects who are seeking liquidity, they can actually access high liquidity with low fees, if I'm not wrong. And it offers a better risk to reward profile to liquidity providers. And it also protects them from the impermanent loss, which is often like kind of dealt by printing more, which happens by LPs, as we have seen in the Terra collapse. uh, but yeah, it's a clever way of kind of dealing with it. And I would suggest you guys to kind of look more into it. I don't have specifics about their roadmap, but I think they're working with guard protocol as well, um, to to solve these liquidity issues on Algorand. Yeah,
Thank you, sir. May I ask you one more question?
yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Sir, we already know about Cometa protocol is a different entity. Could you share something about their Algorand Innovative Act on, if may possible?
So actually, I was not around that time when the innovative hackathon happened last year. I think it was around February or March. So I'm still not very educated about the topic. But as I said, mainly what they have offered is liquidity as a service, which is large, and it basically provides more incentives by restructuring the whole thing. So it has gained a lot of traction from the VCs as well. I think all the biggest Algorand ecosystem VCs are kind of invested in them. Everyone from Borderless has also put in money in the project. So I think we can see some more developments in the future. And I think they have their wait list kind of going on at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Pranjal.
Yes, thank you, Mr.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi,
Hi.
Pranjal. Okay, before going to the question, next question, I want to ask you, how you feel our community? I hope you have went to our last chats and everything. How you
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
about our? Mm,
Yeah, absolutely. So I usually don't get asked these questions a lot, where it's too technical about DeFi, and going into details about different layer one characteristics. Mostly people are more into price actions, and they are kind of seeking for alpha or some news or announcements. But it's very good that community is trying to learn about the core tech, and it is really good, I must say.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, now I ask my question. Being everywhere we see EVM is more popular. Okay,
Hmm.
how when I go through the sites, I found that the Milkomeda
Yeah.
about the EV compatibility. So how AVM and EVM is going to compete? How when Milkomeda how it is going to work? Those things can you share with us?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So Melcometa is, of course, one of the recent announcements as well. And you're right on that part. EVM is more popular. It has more adoption. But before we kind of understand the difference between AVM or EVM, and we kind of dive into Milkometa, let's understand what VM is. So traditionally a VM is whatever programs we write on blockchain, we need a compiler to kind of interact with it and let the blockchain know that we want to execute a certain smart contract. And in that case, we use VM. And traditionally on Ethereum, it's been called an Ethereum virtual machine. And the kind of input it takes is called as bytecode. So the underlying language which is used to write smart contract can be anything, but as long as it is feeding in a bytecode, I think everything is good and we can execute the contracts and logics on chain. So when we talk about difference between EVM and AVM, so Algorand is not EVM compatible. Traditionally, we have seen a lot of chains being EVM compatible and very less chains being non EVM compatible. The key reason is because there is already a lot of developers out there on Ethereum, and Solidity is very well known. So it's easier to develop apps for Ethereum and then deploy it on other chains which are EVM compatible. But Algorand is not EVM compatible by choice. We have our own virtual machine because we thought that we could have better efficiencies and better speeds and better features if we had our own virtual machine. So to actually come to like key differences between EVM and AVM is like firstly would be the languages that we interact with. So traditionally we write code in Solidity on Ethereum to interact with EVMs. Solidity is a high level language which kind of resembles JavaScript, and it's very familiar for traditional devs who are transitioning from Web 2 to Web 3. And the language that we use to write Algorand smart contracts is called Teal, but Teal is not that user friendly. So we have a Python library to kind of write, smart contracts in a better way and a better and more user friendly way. It's called PyTeal, which like if you're a Python coder, you can easily write Python smart contracts and you can execute it on Algorand. So Teal and PyTeal is the main language which is used, unlike Solidity on Ethereum. The number two key difference would be around data storage. That on Ethereum, the data storage types are mainly public, private, and internal. On Algorand, we have global storage, local storage, and box storage. Now, box storage is one of the recent integrations that we have done, and box storage actually offers an unlimited number of storage segments in a contract, with each box being up to 32 KB in size. And global and local storage can be read by anyone on chain, as we know, but box storage can only be accessed by the app it kind of belongs into. So uh, that is the difference when it comes to the data storage aspects of EVM and AVM. Third, let's talk about the transaction fees. I think on EVM the gas fees is already very high. I think if any one of you has ever tried to purchase an NFT, you might have seen that the gas fees was really high, especially if you talk about a year or 2 years from now. In the past, the gas fees were really high because everyone was interacting on the blockchain and the congestion was very high. Right now, the gas fees has significantly dropped. Um so it is kind of better now, but it is still a lot for someone who is trying to interact with the blockchain, and it is like a one-time price that you have to pay each time you are trying to interact with the blockchain. But on Algorand, every smart contract creation or call will cost you 0.0001 algo, which is you can calculate one algo is 0.26 0.21 US dollars. So it's like a fraction of a dollar, fraction of a cent actually, which is which is very easy on a pocket if you want to write different smart contracts and if you want to execute. And it does not really changes that much if we talk about network congestions, and if it grows on Algorand. But on Ethereum, we have seen significant spikes in gas fees whenever there is a dump or pump is happening. Too many people are moving their assets on the chain, then the gas prices go up a lot. So that would be like the main differences. Now coming to Milkomeda is absolutely groundbreaking for Algorand, I must say. So Milkomeda it's a company which offers roll-ups in a simple way. So it had roll-up for Cardano in the past. It had a roll-up for Cardano called C1. and they have launched a roll up layer to roll up for Algorand as well. It's called A1. So what A1 actually offers is that you can write your smart contracts in Ethereum's native language for writing smart contracts, which is Solidity. So you can write your smart contracts in Solidity, and then you can execute it on top of Algorand blockchain, and you can get all the good things like speed, like low gas fees, uh, and more stability and security. So you can get all the good things of Algorand. But yeah, if you are not familiar with PyTeal or Teal, then you can write the smart contracts in Solidity. And I think they launched 2 or 3 months back, and their roadmap to kind of launch the whole A1 is by I think quarter 1 or quarter 2 this year. So I'm really excited about that, so that we have more examples of this, and then we can just look at the different developer conferences where Ethereum developers are of course huge in number. It will be great for us to showcase the power of this and how they can interact with Algorand with writing the Solidity code. So yeah, that's kind of how we as DevRels look at it.
Thank you. Thank you, Pankaj. Now, one of our team member, Shakti, will ask the next question.
Okay.
Thank you, Hari. Yeah, hi, Mr. Pankaj. This is Shakti. Thanks for being with us. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going for directly after the question. Could you share the overview of algorithm protocol and how it play an important role in CBD?
Okay, so about Algorand protocol and CBDC, if I
Yeah,
heard it right. Okay. Yeah, so Algorand protocol, I think I've already kind of discussed it, but let's go over it again. So Algorand offers, Algorand has offered to kind of break the blockchain dilemma that we have always had. It offers fast speeds on transactions. We have, a finality time of about 3.7 seconds, which was, I think, 4.2 seconds at the start of last year, but we have significantly improved it this year. And scalability of about 6,000, which is what we claim, but the stress tests recently have shown that we have reached around 14 to 14.5 thousand transactions per second, which is absolutely a game changer for Algorand. And as I said about cheap transactions on Algorand, it's about 0.001 algo to execute smart contract logics and make these calls. Stability has been not a problem for Algorand at all since the time we have launched on mainnet. We have had zero seconds of downtime. We have not had any forks. We have not had any hacks. So we are much more reliable as compared to some of the other players in the system who have had multiple downtimes. The developers have kind of moved, so many developers, so many projects have decided to move on from these bigger chains who are not reliable, because in the longer term you want to have sustainability. So I think Algorand comes in really good in that way. Now, but when we look at like something like CBDC, we expect all these different things. We expect stability. We expect the transactions to happen fast, and we don't expect them to cost us $12 like Ethereum every time we are transacting with another user. So Algorand, I think, fits in perfectly to build a CBDC. And actually, this point really ties up well with one of the recent announcements, which came, I think, just 2 days back, about. Let me pull this up. Yeah, so it's about National Australian Bank to create a stable coin called AUDN on Algorand and Ethereum. So they are planning to create AUDN, which is the digital stable coin for Australian dollar, which they'll be building with the help of Algorand. And Algorand has, and this is not just the only thing that we have done in terms of CBDCs. Last year we have, not last year. I think it was in about in 2020 we had another announcement that we are helping Marshall Islands to build their first CBDC with the help of Algorand. So because we have all these different things which are scalable, which is scalability, stability, and um, you know high transactions per second, and less waiting time. So all these different things make Algorand as a perfect candidate for anyone to use as the underlying blockchain. And we have seen this by banks, we have seen this by different countries who are growing their interest in Algorand. I think in future we'll kind of directly compete with Visa and Mastercard, who I think at the moment they process 45,000 transactions per second or 50,000 transactions per second. But I think we're gonna be at that level very soon. And then the best alternative for them, digitally and on blockchain, would be Algorand. And then we'll see massive adoption happening.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah,
Yeah.
finally, our team has a kind request from our team. Yeah, you have conduct events in India for ALGO Bharat like that. If possible, kindly invite our team to participate in the future events. If we get the chance, it's easy to learn more from one of the best blockchain in crypto, I think.
Sorry, I didn't get that. The voice was not that clear. If someone else
Yeah,
can maybe.
yeah.
Yeah,
What I was saying is, yeah, we have a request from our ALGO team. We
Uh-huh.
have conducted so much events in India like that.
Yeah.
If possible, you have invite our team to participate in the future event. That's
yeah. Few minutes back, you have shared that you have a big event in upcoming event is coming.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Can you get an invitation? Uh,
Uh, yeah.
can we
Yeah.
join?
So maybe what I can do is I can share the Google form link for that. Actually, not a Google form link; it's a normal form link that you have to fill out to show your interest that you want to attend as a hacker, or if you want to take part in the pitch competition. That is the kind of way I know to attend the event at the moment. But I think we will open it to other folks who are just Web3 enthusiasts as well. So I only have the first form at the moment, which is about participating as either a pitch competition, as a competitor in the pitch competition, or as a hacker. But once I get more information about how a normal person can attain visitor pass, I will surely let you guys know so that interested folks can join us. The event is going to be happening in Hyderabad, so I think it's very accessible for a lot of folks who are based down south, in Bangalore or in Hyderabad. So yeah, I'm gonna be there, and I'm really excited to looking forward. I'm really excited and looking forward to meeting new folks who are gonna be attending these events as either enthusiasts or taking part in these competitions.
yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for the thank you for the chance. It's easy to learn more from blockchain and crypto
Yeah,
from Algorand blockchain. Yeah. Any other correct from our team right now?
Yeah.
No. No.
Hope everyone has enjoyed the knowledge shared by Raghu. Uh, Hope you too have enjoyed
Yeah.
that chat. Rachel, thanks for joining this year with us. Hope we will have another event in future. That time also we eagerly waiting that he will definitely join with us. Uh,
absolutely. Yeah, it was my pleasure to be here, to be interacting with such a very interactive community, and I'm always accessible on Twitter or LinkedIn if you have any questions. If you are looking for any answers, just feel free to drop me a message, and someone from my team or myself will look at it and we'll help you guys. If
Yeah.
you are interested in knowing something, don't like feel hesitant to kind of drop a text and to learn more or get in touch. So yeah, that was what I wanted to say, and really happy to be here. It was a wonderful session, and let's see if we can do more of these sessions in future. Once, let's say, we have more announcements or there is some major upgrades, so I'll be more than happy to come back and talk about those.
Yeah.
thank
Once
you.
again, thanks for your valuable time to spend with us. Now we have hope know more details about the algorithm blockchain. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
This AI This AMA will be updated in YouTube too.
Great.
The link
Yeah.
will share soon, so that you can also share. Yes, most of the technical aspects we have discussed, so it will help others to those who are joining this AMA. They can also see that, hear that on that platform too. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yes. Thanks, Mr. Panel. Thanks for your time.
We can close the AMA.
Yeah, sure.